Hi lovely people, welcome to Zop Lady, welcome to my channel once again, and today I am super excited to be seated beside my former boss. Can you imagine having that honor to talk to my boss? And I'm sure you're also curious, you also want to know a little about him, so we give him the opportunity to tell us who my boss is. Yeah.
Well, Genevieve, the way you said you were excited, I'm also more excited. You know, I have seen Genevieve mature over the years. You know, from an admin person to a technical person, and then I just admire her strength and the way she is goal oriented. You know, so I'm so happy about that. So thank you, Genevieve, for inviting me on your special program. So about myself.
Yes.
So my name is Kweku Obeng. For those who are watching it around the world, Kweku means I was born on Wednesday. I was born on the United Nations Day, 24th October.
Woo!
And I am the second child of my parents. My parents have 4 children, girl, boy. And I grew up, I was born here in Ghana, did a little bit in the US, came back to Ghana, went to primary school in Ghana, secondary school in Ghana, university in Ghana. And moved to the UK for about 2 years to work around a bit. And I went to do my master's in Germany. Coming back from Germany, I started working with Obeng Corporation. Currently, I'm a component manager in the area of accountability and resource governance. So that's a little bit about me. I'm married to a beautiful lady who's a lawyer. Ooh. And I have 2 girls. My first girl is turning 10 this year, and then my second girl is turning 3. And the second girl was born also on 24th October, so we share a birthday together. Yes.
Wow! Yeah. And on that sharing on birthday together, how is the feeling like being a father?
Well, I think everybody can be a man, but not everybody can be a father. And when I say father, I'm talking about a responsible father. Mm-hmm. So the feeling comes with a lot of responsibility. I mean, almost 10 years ago, when I held my daughter, newly born, normally I want to be in the operation room. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, they invited me to be part of the operation for my first daughter. Mm-hmm. And it was a whole experience. I thought the doctors were a bit too relaxed. You know, they were operating on my wife and they were not talking about football and so many things. And my mind was, how are they cutting hair and, you know, things like that, you know. But I was part of the process. I was happy about that. My daughter came out, and as I held her in my arm, you know, I felt so proud. I thank God for that. And I knew then that comes with a lot of responsibility. So that's how it feels. It's a joy, but it comes with hard work and responsibility.
Yeah. So the catchword here is responsibility.
Responsibility, exactly.
Yeah. So we know we have some irresponsible fathers. Why then did you choose to be responsible? Why? You could have also decided not to be irresponsible.
Well, it's about the statistics. There are 2 statistics. A statistics of responsible fathers and statistics of irresponsible fathers, right? The choice is yours. And both has its implications and its consequences, right? And statistics show that most people who come from homes with responsible fathers end up differently. There's a broken homes and they go wayward and things like that. And the same statistics also show that those who come with homes with caring fathers, responsible fathers, you know, it goes a long way to build their children up, to make them also responsible, and they develop better and faster than homes without responsible fathers. So at a point you have to make that choice, which road you want to go. And I decided that I want a better future for my children, and it starts with me being responsible.
Okay, so does that mean that you came from a responsible, hence you decided to be responsible, or you were from irresponsible and then you realized that no, I have to change the status quo? How did you grow up?
So my dad is a pastor. We grew up in a very close-knit family, and he was always there for us. And the thing about pastors' children is that most pastors' children go wayward to begin with, right? And that's because of the strictness of their parents. But my dad, he taught us to do the right thing, but he also left room for us to express ourselves, right? So for example, he says that he doesn't mind your dressing, in the sense that pastor's children, people will be complaining that, hey, pastor's children, this is how you are dressing. But he said he doesn't mind, as long as his child is doing the right thing. He doesn't care what the child is wearing, as long as he or she is not exposing him or herself, you know, in that bad way. So he wasn't really thinking about how people thought about us. He gave us the liberty to express ourselves. So he is really a responsible father. He taught us the ways of God. He taught us what is right and then what is wrong. So I think I learned a lot from him. But having said that, people might say that because they come from a home with other fathers, then they will turn out that way. I think, again, it's about choices, right? And yes, it's more difficult in such a home to break out, but you have to determine that since my parents were responsible, my father was responsible, I also want to change the status quo, right? So whichever way you come out, it depends on you to choose which path you want to take.
Yeah. So now I've been checking on his WhatsApp status.
Okay.
And if you don't know, he's the WhatsApp status king 2022, right?
Yes, last year.
Last year.
Yes.
So, and he's still working so hard, and I'm sure that this year he's going to retain that title.
Definitely.
Now, one of the things I saw on your WhatsApp status, your wife had a baby recently, and
recently means 2 years ago.
yeah, two
Almost
years ago. No, I'm talking about the time I saw it.
Yes, okay.
You were sitting at the back of the car and your wife was driving. This spoke volumes to me. Why that? Can you explain to me why you did that?
So, was I holding the child?
Yes, you were holding the child and she was driving.
Okay. So you didn't interpret that I was just enjoying the ride.
So that's why I want you to tell me why you did that and how society also perceived that act.
Sure. No, I think it's about role plays and then taking up other responsibilities as well. So for me, helping my wife in doing some of these things is not a big deal for me. I think whichever way you look at it, it's a family issue. It's not like it's your job, it's my job kind of thing. We are all in the same family. So if she's driving and I'm carrying the little one, and the good thing is that my wife loves driving. So for me, we don't even have that kind of debate. In fact, anytime we are going to move into the car, I said, do you want to drive or I should drive? And then she says, okay, you should drive or I will drive or something like that. On that particular day, I think we're going to visit a friend, and then she said she wants to drive. Then while she has driven, I said, okay, then let me sit at the back and take care of the little one. So it worked very much. She got to drive again. I got to enjoy the drive and carry the little one at the same time.
That thing, that act you did spoke a lot of volumes to me as an individual.
I see.
And I was touched.
Okay.
And I was just jumping in my little corner back where I am from, South Africa. Yes, so you said role play.
Yeah.
How do you think society perceived that act? And why were you not bothered with what society perceived that you are carrying the baby and your wife is driving?
Yeah.
Why were you not bothered and still insisted on doing that?
Yeah. I think it comes down to what we perceive society to think about us or not to think about us. And everybody has a kind of opinion, right? So if you will constantly be thinking about what someone thinks, you might be able to take up certain actions, right? So for me, many years ago, I stopped thinking about what people think about certain things, because at the end of the day, it's he who wears the shoes knows where it is pinching, right? And not the one standing nearby. So I'm really not bothered by what people think. I'm bothered by doing the right thing, that at the end of the day, when I lie down in bed, I'm happy that I had a good day and I was able to be happy throughout the day and not what people think.
Wow. Did you hear that? I don't know. I think I'm lost for words. Yeah? What advice would you give to responsible fathers and irresponsible fathers?
All right, so let me start from this perspective generally. I think a father is a very important figure, right? There's a time, and we might come to that later, but there's a time in the Bible the disciples came to Jesus and said that teach us how to pray. And Jesus started by saying, our Father in heaven. So once the prayer starts with our Father, it shows the importance of Father. Someone said, no father, no further. So when you don't have a father in your life, how far you go can be limited than when you have a father figure who is giving you advice, who's praying for you, who is cheering you on, right? So no father, no further. So that comes to the point about irresponsibility, right? My advice to irresponsible fathers is that one, life is short, right? Whichever way you look at it, even if you live up to 80 years or 100 years, it will come to an end at a point. How do you want your children to remember you? I heard a story about a manager who was in a very good company and working with a staff of about 5. And this manager applied to a bigger company. And the manager put on the table in the new company, I want to come with my team because she liked working with her team and the team liked working with her. And they agreed. So she moved to the new company with her whole team of 5. And I asked myself, If she was a bad manager, would they have followed her to the new company, which was better? They'll say, okay, goodbye, we'll stay in the old company, right? And the same thing about fathers, right? The way you relate to your children will determine what will happen in future, how they will treat you, right? And the future, as I said, is sure. You don't know when you need their help. It might not be financial help, but just to check on you, just to care for you. But at a point in your life, it's just a few people left in your life. And if you are taking your children out of your life, who will be checking on you? So that's what we should think about as responsible fathers, about the future. And for responsible fathers, I encourage you to continue on that path. Because the end will justify the means. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. So as we are gradually coming to the end of this lovely conversation, I'd like you to again advise any word to the youth.
Okay.
Yeah. What you are passionate about.
Okay.
For the youth.
So my philosophy, which has guided me in life, is that drink deep or taste not. Drink deep or taste not. And by drinking deep or taste not, it means that do not do things half-half, right? So go all out. If it's a career you want to do, go all out to determine it. If it's a skill you want to learn, go all out to learn it. If it's anything you want to do, right, determine that you're going to go all out. So my advice to the youth is that there are so many distractions around us, right? There are too many things that will discourage us. But drink deep or taste not. Drink everything, accomplish all that you can, so that at the end of the day, you can look back and say that I have achieved it by the grace of God.
Wow. On that note, Zob Lady would like to say a big thank you for honoring this invitation. Thank you so much, Kweku. Of course, normally I end my interview by giving people the Ghanaian handshake. So this one, I'll just say it and then let's see how we do it. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yes, so he knows this. I don't have to teach him now. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a family about who? Zob Lady. So let's say bye-bye to my audience.
Bye.
Bye.